Hey guys, today we're going to be comparing numbers, so comparing real numbers and then ordering them using a number line. So we have 4 statements at the very top of this where we want to compare 2 values using less than or greater than symbols. And then we want to order each value down here on the number line. So again, just like we've been doing, a tool that we can use is our Desmos calculator or the yellow handhelds, depending on what you have. But we're going to take a look at number 1 first, and we want to compare the square root of 41 to the value of 6.8 tenths, or 6 and 8 tenths. So I need to take the square root of 41 and put it into Desmos to see what that is as a decimal equivalent. So I'm going to say the square root of 41, and I get a value of 6.40. So if I go back to my paper, the square root of 41 was 6.4. And I know that 6.4 is less than 6.8. And I can plot both of those on the number line. So 6.4, if I zoom in really close and make it small, 6.4 is going to be right here, right before 6.5. And then 6.8 is going to be closer to 7. I'm going to zoom back out. And now we look at number 2. So now we're comparing negative square root of 41, or the opposite of the square root of 41, to negative 6.8. So I already know that the square root of 41 is 6.4. So the opposite of that would be negative 6.4. So we want to compare negative 6.4 to negative 6.8. And I know we really want to say that negative 6.8 is greater because we think of comparisons in terms of the positive numbers we've worked with most of our mathematical career. But if we take a look and we go and graph them on the number line, we have negative 6.4 and negative 6.8. So right here is negative 6. And then right here is negative 7. Negative 6.4 is going to go right before negative 6.5. And negative 6.8 will be closer to negative 7. So then when I really look at it, negative 6.4 is greater because it's further to the right on the number line. And remember, the less or the more negative something is, the smaller its value. All right, and now we have 2 more to look at. And if you notice, guys, this is very similar. The only difference is for number 3, the negative here is on the inside and the exponent is on the outside. And the other side, the negative is on the outside and the exponent is on the inside. And so I know we want to think that they're probably the same, but let's just go ahead and consult Desmos to make sure, because it never hurts to be safer than sorry. So our first number that we're going to look at was parentheses, because I got to type it exactly as I see it, negative 1.2, I got to close those parentheses, with the exponent of 2. And I get a value of a positive 1.44. The other one had the negative on the outside, then the closed parentheses, 1.2 with the exponent on the inside. And we get a negative 1.44. That makes a big difference. So when I go back to annotate on my paper, when the negative was on the inside and the exponent was on the outside, we got that that was a positive 1.44. When the exponent was on the outside, when the negative was on the outside and the exponent was on the inside, we got a negative 1.44. So I can go graph those. So 1.44 is almost 1.5. So 1.44. And then negative 1.44, it's past negative 1, not to quite to negative 2, but a little bit before negative 1.5. So I can see on my number line that positive 1.44 is greater than negative 1.44. And then our very last one, we have negative square root of 10, and we are comparing that to a negative 3. So I can go ahead and graph negative 3 on my number line. And now I just need to figure out the decimal approximation of negative square root of 10. So I'm going to go to Desmos and say, all right, what is negative square root of 10? And we get that that is a negative 3.16, or 3 1600ths. And so I'm going to go annotate that and say negative 3.16. How does that compare to negative 3? Well, I'm going to use my number line. Negative 3.16 is more negative than negative 3, just by barely though. So I'm going to go to the left and just say, all right, right there, that's negative 3.16. So if I look at my number line, I can see that I've now ordered all of my values in order, and I can look left to right for least to greatest, or I can look right to left from greatest to least. But when I'm comparing negative 3.16 to negative 3, I know that negative 3 is greater because it is further to the right on the number line. All right, thank you very much.